Welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Journal. This is for November 2014. This program is presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. I'm Big Turkey Marc Morisseau. Also hosting the show today are Pass the Gravy Calvin Watts, Where's the Cranberry Sauce Jay Kingston, and it's wasabi James Hinsey.
What the heck does wasabi have to do with Thanksgiving?
I was hoping for pumpkin pie.
But close enough. And as always, we begin talking about the wonderful world of movies.
Well, thank you very much, Mark, you big turkey.
Thank you.
Come on. Let's just jump right into things, shall we? We've got, starting with the chronological order of the way the movies are coming out, Interstellar, starring Matthew McConaughey, who is a pilot. He's the world's best pilot, and he has to pilot an interstellar starcraft, our first true space craft, to travel to another world because the Earth is dying. He has to try and find another planet that's suitable, but that comes with its own dangers, as you can well imagine. Let's take a look.
We used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
Go for main engine, start, T-minus 10.
We must confront the reality that nothing in our solar system can help us.
9.
I've got kids, Professor.
How long?
Would I be gone?
8.
I'm asking you to trust me.
7.
Murph. You have to talk to me, Murph.
6.
I need to fix this before I go.
You have no idea when you're coming back.
5. Main engine, start.
Couldn't you have told her you were going to save the world?
No.
4.
When you become a parent,
3.
one thing becomes really clear.
2.
And that's that you want to make sure your children feel safe.
1.
I'm coming back.
When?
I love you forever.
Potentially habitable worlds right within our reach.
Could save us from extinction.
Here we go.
You can't just think about your family. Now you have to think bigger than that.
I am thinking about my family and millions of other families.
Maybe we've spent too long trying to figure all this out with theory. Love is the one thing that transcends time and space.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
I'm ready to make it!
Yes, you are.
We'll find a way. We always have.
This movie is going to kick butt.
I think it is. I think it's going to do very well.
And isn't it the guy who's directing, he has some controversy because he's releasing it first in theaters that still show like 35 or 70 millimeter, the ones that are not
Real
digital.
film.
Real
Right.
film.
Yes.
Yeah. He's releasing it in those theaters first. And everybody who converted over to just digital are saying, whoa, what's going on? We're not going to get
That's
much
Christopher
fun."
Columbus.
Right.
Right.
Christopher Columbus.
No, Christopher
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan,
This is
sorry.
October, so we're thinking Columbus
Yeah.
Day, because we're taping this on Columbus Day weekend. But anyway.
I was thinking, no, the director, the other director.
No, I get it. Yeah, Christopher Nolan, who's directed Inception, and he also did the Dark Knight trilogy with Christian Bale. And it's really interesting how you've had people like Peter Jackson try to push digital and James Cameron at the forefront of that. And this is going back a little bit to like the old school ways of doing films.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
But I really don't think the controversy, I think it's mine. I think what the End of the Game controversy from last year was much more a big
yeah.
deal, and this isn't going to hurt at all. This movie looks great, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, Ender's Game was a much bigger controversy last time. Next, we have The Hunger Games Part 1, Mockingjay Part 1. And this stars Jennifer Lawrence and Donald Sutherland. If you've been following the if you've been following the Hunger Games trilogy at all, then you know what's going to happen. This is the beginning of the downfall of the Empire. And it looks pretty interesting.
Looks good.
So let's take a look.
I never wanted any of this. I never wanted to be in the games. I just wanted to save my sister and keep Peeta alive.
Miss Everdeen, it's the things we love most that destroy us.
Everyone who's watching to lay down their weapons now.
You're alive.
Peeta is the capital's weapon, the same way you're ours.
You will rescue Peeta at the earliest opportunity, or you will find another Mockingjay.
And do yourself a favor, if you haven't already, read the books.
Yes, the books are excellent. Next, we have Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. And this one stars Ben Stiller, of course, and one of the last appearances of Robin Williams on film.
Yep, Teddy Roosevelt.
Yep, and I'm going to go see it just because I love Robin Williams so much. It's more of the same with the Night at the Museum. You know what to expect. It's a fun film. It's gonna have some surprises in it. It's gonna be some nice cameos, and it's sad that it's one of Robin Williams' last films. But let's take a look at that footage and let you see for yourselves.
The greatest discovery in 3,000 years will uncover the origin of a secret power and lead history's greatest heroes where they've never gone before.
You are speaking with the Pharaoh. Kiss my staff.
Oh, is it okay if I don't? Now, you and I both know there's something magical in the museum. The sun goes down, tablet starts to glow, everything comes to life.
This Christmas...
Yes, we look similar.
Dada.
No, I'm not your Dada. No touching. Stop it.
The magic is running out.
There's something wrong with the tablet.
We shall all be dead by sunrise.
Huns don't hyperventilate.
But their greatest adventure...
These guys depend on me.
...has just begun.
We have to go to London to figure this out.
Hello, welcome to the British Museum.
Hi.
Must be wicked being a security guard in America. With your gun, with the silencer, with your ninja swords.
That's not even a little bit true.
Lawrence!
Ta-da!
I want you to stay here and make sure nobody comes in or out.
No.
Stay. Stop! No. Stay. Stop!
Okay. I think we're...
Sir Lancelot, at your service.
Theodore Roosevelt, President of the United States of America.
I have no idea what that means.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb.
Where the heck are we?
Oh, Pompeii.
This is the last roundup!
We must never speak of what happened here today.
Come on! That wasn't necessary!
Okay. Next we have Predestination, which stars Ethan Hawke. It's nice to see Ethan Hawke. Kat was saying earlier, nice to see him back doing films again.
Yes.
And he stars as a time-traveling law enforcement agent who is given his final assignment to track down a time-traveling criminal who has been his bane for years. He's been traveling through time trying to catch this guy, and this is his final assignment. You've got to get him. So let's take a look at that footage.
What if I could put him in front of you? The man that ruined your life. Would you kill him? By the time you listen to this, 7 years will have passed. Here you are, at the beginning of your new life. It can be overwhelming, knowing the future.
So, what, you're a cop?
I'm a temporal agent. We prevent crime before it takes place.
What is it?
It's a time machine. Don't ever exceed the jump limit. It can be problematic. If you ever want to stop the Fizzle Bomber, you'll never get another chance. Time, it catches up with us all. You can do this.
What are you saying? What's that got to do with me?
You're the only one given to the world through a paradox. You must lay the seeds for the future.
But I know where I come from. But where do all you zombies come from? What if I could put him in front of you? Would you kill him?
So it's an updated version of Time Cop.
It's basically an updated version of Time
But I
Cop
think
with a little slant to it.
This one might have like a steampunk type feel to it. So it looks interesting.
It could very well. And finally this month we've got another review of, or another preview of Jupiter Ascending. This stars Mila Kunis as Jupiter Jones, a young girl who's a waitress whose life is going absolutely nowhere until she meets a mysterious stranger and gets her involved in some galactic intrigue. So let's take a look at that footage.
You've been taught that the birthplace of the human race is Earth, but it's not.
Do you know what this will do to people when they find out the truth?
I don't think that most people would want to know the truth.
I do.
Your planet was seeded by brass axe industries roughly 100,000 years ago.
It's one of the most powerful dynasties in the universe. There are 3 primary heirs. The oldest is Belem. He's the one that controls this planet and wants you dead.
I'm telling you, I'm nobody.
You are royalty.
What about the girl? Still alive. Bring her to me.
When the exact same genes reappear in the exact same order, it is what you call reincarnation.
Majesty's life is going to change, if she wants it to.
I'm still the same me.
Right now, Belem owns the title to Earth. Once you claim it, the Earth will belong to you.
I will harvest that planet tomorrow before I let her take it from me.
Have you ever seen a harvest?
Never. But I've heard they feel no pain.
should have told me the truth about why you wanted her.
That planet belongs to me.
Not anymore.
Your Majesty, I have more in common with a dog than I have with you.
I love dogs. I've always loved dogs.
Here we go.
This was the movie that was supposed to be out this year.
Yes,
but
it
they
was supposed to
pushed
be out this year, and it got bumped back. Then it got bumped back again.
Mm-hmm. That does not bode well for Jupiter Ascending.
It's the latest movie by the Wachowski siblings.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yep.
Who are basically most known for the Matrix trilogy. They also did the Speed Racer live action film a few years back. So visually, I mean, it looks impressive. But yeah,
but that's about it.
Being pushed back a few times is never a good thing.
Now, as we speak, Interstellar is in the theaters, or as you're watching this, Interstellar is in the theaters, and Interstellar is in. Hunger Games should be in theaters at the end of this broadcast, at the end of this broadcast period, which is November 21st. Night at the Museum is coming out on December 19th. And Predestination is coming out January 9th. And finally, Jupiter Ascending is due in theaters on February 6th. That's about it.
All right.
That's what I've got.
Good. Intro the next segment, please.
Intro the next segment, which, of course, is going to be... Let's see. Oh, no, not that.
Yeah.
It's...
the favorite segment of the entire show.
Game Over with Calvin Watts.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
So we are in November, so a holiday season is upon us. And you'll be able to see with the new upcoming home video releases how it kind of tails off. But for those of you who have missed any of the previous shows out now, some more or some of the bigger titles that you can get in stores today include Tom Cruise's sci-fi futuristic Groundhog Day flick, The Edge of Tomorrow, X-Men Days of Future Past, the remake or reboot of Godzilla, which was really cool, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Transformers: Age of Extinction, which hopefully will be extinct, but it's not going to be since it's like the #1 movie worldwide.
The good news is they're going to really...
We own Godzilla, thanks to Ian. We own...
Days of Future.
No.
No.
Captain America.
Captain America,
All right.
Winter Soldier, thanks to Ian. And I highly recommend both films.
Now, coming out on November 4th, we're going to have a couple of big titles. Maleficent.
Ooh.
So
good
an
film.
Angelina Jolie film, which was better than I thought it was going to be. It's going to make its debut on home video. Along with The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, the extended version.
Smaug.
So if you are Hobbit fans or Lord of the Rings fans and can't get enough, there you go, a month before the final film comes out. Also, Doctor Who, the Matt Smith years.
Nice.
With Peter Capaldi taking over the role, it's time to go and look back at the quirkiness that Matt Smith, brought to the table. So there's that for you Doctor Who fans.
Now, is it a whole collection of all the Matt Smith episodes?
Whole collection.
Excellent. Gotta get it.
Okay.
Gotta get it.
On November 11th, How to Train Your Dragon 2, which actually was pretty nice. Yeah, a good family film. I would highly recommend that. If you like the first one, you'll like this one. But the biggest news by far, Batman, the TV show, the 1960s iconic, one of the most defining shows of its or any other generation.
That's been out on bootleg at conventions for years.
This is yep, it has, but this is official, completely remastered, 1 billion extras on DVD and Blu-ray. Blu-ray right now, you can only get the complete series. You can also get the complete series on DVD, but it'll also be separated to its 2 separate seasons.
Right. Why wouldn't you want the complete series anyway?
Exactly. No, I agree with you. So there's that. A buttload has changed. It's going to cost, but if you're a Batman fan, it's worth it.
Okay.
And this is where it starts to drop off. On the 18th of November, you have Into the Storm, which was a pretty cool disaster movie that came out during the summer. I liked it, so I'll be getting it at some point. And a couple of B movies, which are notable for the people that are in it. Trancers, the 1980s
I remember that.
flick with legendary character actor Tim Thomerson, and also Helen Hunt. The Ultimate Edition comes out that day. And then to go down even further into the B movie realm, Moontrap.
Oh, Jesus.
With
All right.
Walter Koenig from Star Trek and Bruce Campbell makes its debut on DVD. And there is
That's more like a C or D level movie as far as I'm concerned.
Believe me, I was going through the Digital Bits thing, and that, I get a lot of my information from the digitalbits.com, Bill Hunt's site about DVDs and upcoming reviews. It's an excellent site. You should definitely check it out. For the rest of the month, there really isn't anything. There's nothing of note sci-fi fantasy other than, some like really bad releases.
I'd almost be tempted to get that last one just because Bruce Campbell's in it.
But December, to give you an idea of what's going to come out in December, you got some heavy hitters. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes comes out at the beginning of the month.
Oh, good film.
You have the reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which a lot of people did go and see.
I didn't see it. So.
And Guardians of the Galaxy will be out in time for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be the big...
Complete with the dance sequence that Calvin loves so much.
That's right. Well, they're working on releasing a toy, a dancing Groot. You'll be able to get one for Christmas.
The Groot sequence was great. I didn't have a problem with the Groot sequence.
Oh, that was awesome.
So it was the problem where the guy should have destroyed the planet and freaking don't get me started.
Right.
Now wait a minute, the dancing Groot, is it the little
potted dancing Groot? Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you'll be able to get one for Christmas.
That's awesome. Okay, on to some video gaming news, and briefly, Harmonix recently put out a survey to owners of Rock Band.
You mean there's still people playing Rock Band?
There's still people playing Rock. I go to PAX East every year, and there's still a big following that's out there that's playing. We've gone to Kineticon, and they have a section over there. We were there last year, this year, and there was a big, huge section, and they're all rocking out, and they're playing Rock Band. It still has a very strong cult following, and they are working behind the scenes. There's no news to talk about now about what their future plans are, but it is not dead. But they put out a survey as to what people might want to see in like an upcoming Rock Band title, as to whether it would come out on current systems or next generation systems, and what they would want to see most: downloadable content, new material, new instruments, that sort of stuff. Me personally, I'm hoping for a next generation release, and if they can somehow find a way, because more and more games that have been released on the previous consoles, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, I've been able to transfer a lot of that content over to the Xbox One without, you might have to pay like a little fee, but you won't have to buy everything again. And that's a really big deal. If Harmonix can pull that off, then Rock Band has a good chance of succeeding on the newer consoles. If we ever get any more information, obviously I will bring that to you.
Good.
Also, I'm going to go into pinball arcade stuff in a minute, but we had just recently gotten in, James talked about this a couple of months ago, about the Blue Goji guys from California were nice enough to send us a controller scheme for the iPad. I just started messing around with it, and it's pretty neat. So next month we're going to do a review on that and see if we can't do a little demonstration here in the studio.
Okay.
And we'll check that out. All right, moving on to the Pinball Arcade. It looks like the Addams Family Kickstarter is going to be successful. It's going to end tomorrow as we tape in the beginning of October. It's like October 10th.
The middle, all right.
So sometime either before the end of this year or early in February, you will see that. So I'm looking forward to that. And keeping in with the pinball theme, earlier this last month, I went up to Charlton, Massachusetts to speak with Gabriel D'Annunzio. He's a member of the Boston Pinball Association, and he's also the guy that's behind Pintastic New England 2015, which is going to be the first pinball-themed convention here in New England.
Yeah, we announced it last month.
PintasticNewEngland.com is the website, but we talk a little bit about what the expo is going to be all about, and we take a look at his collection. And one of the things that we're going to focus on as we get forward and move on towards the expo is we're going to talk a little bit about one of the pinball machines in his collection each month as we get further on. This was an excellent interview, so check it out. All right, now you guys know how much I love pinball, and we are here today with Gabriel D'Annunzio. Now you're going to ask, who is that? Well, I'm going to tell you who he is. He's the main guy behind New England Pintastic 2015, which is going to take place in Sturbridge, Massachusetts next year, July 10th and 11th at the Sturbridge Hotel. Now, it's going to be New England's first bona fide pinball convention. Okay, now I know what you're saying. What's a pinball convention? Well, if you know what comic conventions are, and then you have book conventions, and you have all sorts of media conventions, well, it's a convention that's going to be devoted to pinball. And that's really cool. So, Gabe, how you doing?
Good. It's actually Pintastic New England.
Oh.
Just straightening that out, because I know people will say something. But everything's going great with the show. We've had great response. And it's 10 months away, so we have a ways to go.
Okay, for those of you who don't know what a pinball convention is, kind of like what they have out in Allentown, and some of the bigger ones that we have. I know the Chicago one's coming up. Why don't you talk a little bit about what Pintax is going to be all about?
Well, we're going to bring in vendors. We have a vendor space, which is 12,000 square feet, 63 10 by 10 spots. A lot of vendors take 2 or 3 spots. We have a tournament, which is going to be 25 games. It's going to be match play, 100 people in the tournament. Big prizes, hopefully. We're trying to get some big prize money for the tournament. We have another room, which is 7,000 square feet, and we're going to have 220 pinball machines, free play. That means you pay you pay a fee to get into the show. You play for free all day. And we have one big draw, which is we're going to have a party, a vendor party, after party. It's going to be from 10 o'clock to 1 in the morning. It's going to be for vendors, people, show staff, and for people staying at the hotel. So if you stay at the hotel, you rent a room, you can come to the after party, you can play, and we're going to have all kinds of special stuff going on for that, free pizza. And it's going to be a good time.
Now, if you think about that, 220 machines is what you said. Now, the Pinball Wizard Arcade up in New Hampshire has about half of that number. So those of you who've been up there, if you take that entire space, fill it with pinball, and you probably still have a little bit left over. So we're talking a lot. And all on free play, which is pretty cool. Now, with some of these expos, conventions, and whatnot, you're going to find probably like a lot of rare games and prototype games. And you would mention that Jersey Jack's is going to be one of the sponsors?
Yes, Jersey Jack. Jack's a friend of mine. He's very excited about the show. He's coming. He's going to be bringing some speakers. At this time, we don't know exactly who, but he has a full array of people at his beck and call. So hopefully he'll bring them all. I'm not sure. He's bringing 2, 3, 4, but yes, he's coming. He's going to be there personally, and he's very excited.
Okay, so to get more information about Pintastic, and there's going to be other stuff going on there too. You mentioned a flea market.
Yes, we have an outdoor flea market about 15,000 square feet. It's basically, you drive in, the people will be driving their trailers in, opening them up, parts coming out, games coming out. It'll be right outside of the vendor area. As you go by the tournament, you'll be outside. It's similar to what Allentown does, more loose type of feel. It's going to be good.
And you can get also, like you were saying, all sorts of parts. The people have mods there, modifications. Like one of the really cool mods that we talked about when I went up to Lanes and Games was the little Tron pinball machine, the Tron arcade machine on the pinball machine, and like a track mode. That's like really cool. Okay, so why don't you give out Pintastic's website, and I will be personally giving you updates on our show as we get closer to the actual con.
Yeah, check us out at www.pintasticnewengland.com. Like us on Facebook, Pintastic New England. We're on Twitter. become friends with us. You'll get all the updates, and there's a couple other things I'd like to add for the show. That we're gonna have a restoration throwdown. So this area has a lot of restorers that they're really crazy about what they do with the pinball machines. So we're gonna have a competition. We're gonna raise some prize money for them, and we're gonna have that in a separate area. And these guys are all gonna go head to head. So there's Dracula. You can hear him talking. That's going to be a lot of fun because people will be able to vote on the best restoration, and these guys are very competitive.
And if you go online, you can check out like places at YouTube, and you can see some of these pinball machines that are in like deplorable condition, and you can see some of the work that these people put into to bring them back to not just working order, but to like a pristine new order. That's funny you speak about that, because when we're going to go check out your tables in a minute, you were talking about Whitewater and how that got restored, and that looks like a brand new machine. Well, anyways, thank you very much. We will be talking a lot, I'm sure, in the months to come.
Thank you.
And let's go check out some of your machines.
Thank you for coming by, and visit us at pintasticnewengland.com. Thank you.
Well, that was quite interesting.
It was very. I mean, those pinball machines. I was telling you before we started taping. I mean, that's a lot of money that's in there, and you can tell the care he puts into those machines, and that's how. Before this pinball renaissance, that's really how pinball has survived. You just have these owners and people who just care about pinball, who painstakingly, bring these machines back from the dead.
Yep.
And restore them and use them. And so pinball now has this renaissance, and I really think this is going to be a good thing. It's going to be a family event, and I'm really looking forward to going to it. So that's all I got.
Okay, good. Here we go. Twin Peaks. Remember that show from like 25 years ago?
I do.
I have the first season DVD.
Twin Peaks will return as a 9-episode run on Showtime in 2016. Mark Frost and David Lynch are producing it once again. I liked that show all the way up until the very last episode. And
arguably the worst
totally
final episode ever.
Oh my God.
That was bad.
The poor little guy, and he's dancing and he's speaking backwards.
Oh, that was so bad.
What in the world were you
That's right up there with Lost for a final episode, too.
Well, Lost wasn't too bad.
Lost was all right. I thought Lost was pretty good as far as the final episode.
No, this was like 20 times worse.
Yeah, that was really bad. But if you like Twin Peaks, it's coming back in 2016. Star Trek fans, Windows phones, their personal assistant Cortana will now be able to speak Klingon. It's going to start in the United Kingdom and slowly roll out to the US thanks to Microsoft. Microsoft is doing this because they're sponsoring the 3rd annual Star Trek convention in London. So as a gimmick, they're equipping their Cortana personal assistant, the voice like the Siri thing for Apple. They're letting it speak Klingon. So you can say, beam me up Cortana, and it'll speak back to you in Klingon. So if you're one of the 10 people in the world that own a Windows phone, you'll be able to get this this Cortana Klingon Star Trek feature.
So not only do you have to be one of the 10 people, but you got to be like one of the 5 people that can speak Klingon.
That can understand Klingon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a gimmicky type thing.
That's still cool though.
Yep. The Walking Dead has been renewed for season 6. Yeah. When this show airs, we're like 3 or 4 episodes into season 5, but season 6 is already a go, which is good.
Please tell me they're going to get rid of the governor.
They got rid of the governor a while ago.
No, I mean, was he killed?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Where have you been?
You missed the last years.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Bye.
He's gone.
Good.
Goodbye.
Done.
Okay.
Sayonara,
never mind.
meatball governor. Yeah, he's gone. Good
You can
riddance.
tell I've been busy watching other things.
And the way he died, too. Definitely.
It was good, yeah.
I'll have to catch up on Netflix.
Okay, now take this with a grain of salt, but Fox is interested in developing a series described as The Dirty Dozen in Space by director Len Wiseman, who did the Underworld movie series.
Okay.
All right. Dirty Dozen in Space, when I think of that, I think of the comic book Alien Legion.
Okay.
Which would be really excellent. But this is going to be like human actors.
So they're going to reboot Firefly.
They're going to, well, kind of, sort of, reboot Firefly.
It's Fox.
It's Fox.
I'm
so
sorry.
Thank God they're still hanging on to Sleepy Hollow, but that's a whole different thing. Continuum, which is a show that airs on Sci-Fi Channel. Season 4, there's no news on renewal, but it hasn't been canceled either. It's ran for 3 seasons in the United States. It's a Canadian production, and it's syndicated to the U.S. They haven't really said, yes, we're going to start season 4, but they haven't said that it's definitely been canceled. So bottom line, Continuum season 4 is in limbo at the moment. So we don't know what's going to happen with that one. What the heck are you doing over there? All right. And then let's see what else. Metal Hurling Chronicles. Remember that last year from the Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah, I watched some of
It's
that.
sort of like a heavy metal type series.
Yep.
It's returning as a reboot, but instead of standalone stories, look for a serialized story with a seasonal arc and a recurring cast. So they're doing a different take on that series, Metal Hurling Chronicles.
Oh.
That was a French show that they produced in the United States on the Sci-Fi Journal. Oui.
Yeah, some of the stories were good. Some were weak.
They were good. So now you have a seasonal thing, and they do the stories side by each.
Yeah, it was like an anthology before. Now it's not.
Right.
That's okay. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
Next time you watch my show, you put on the other channel.
That's right. Next time your dog craps in my yard, you go around. That's it. Anyway, then that's it. Okay, we're going to talk more about TV news later. So let's move on to the wonderful world of Anime Daisuki with James Hinsey. Go, James, go.
As we speak, as we're shooting in October, the Japanese glam rock band X Japan is playing at the Madison Square Garden. And they've been here in the U.S. before, they've toured, but they're also going to be shooting a documentary about the band starting at Madison Square Garden. And that's going to be coming out probably next year. So look for that. Let's see. Remember I mentioned that show, Durarara?
Yep.
A couple months ago?
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a new season or a new series that
It didn't get
continuing the
canceled?
story. No.
Aw. Okay.
It has a lot of great characters, some interesting, plot threads and stuff like that. But it's going to be sort of like released in sections. So the first part of it is going to come out January 2015. The next will be July 2015, and then January 2016. So it's kind of like split up into 3 parts. So it's more going to be like a
third of a
miniseries.
season.
So
A what?
A third of a season.
A third of a season.
or 3 seasons separated by 6 months.
I'll have retired by the time that damn show finishes up. Okay.
And so that show's about it's a doulahan named Kelty who is looking for her head. She's,
that one.
right.
All right.
It's a Celtic mythology thing called a doulahan.
All right.
It's like, and that's like where the Headless Horseman story kind of comes from.
Yep.
Let's see. Toonami just finished showing the rest of the Beware the Batman series. I think their contract was up, and so they had to show all the rest of them all in one night, which I watched through, and it was good. They finally got to the Harvey Dent story and things like that, but I wish they could have done more with that. But coming up soon in November is Dragon Ball Z Kai, which will be replacing Bleach on the Toonami channel on Cartoon Network. So look for that, Dragon Ball Z Kai. And I was just checking out Knights of Sidonia on Netflix, which is a Netflix original anime produced in Japan. So it is Japanese language, English subtitled, and it was really cool. It's about a group of humans in a spaceship that's kind of like a world ship or a colony ship, and they've been fighting these aliens that have destroyed the Earth, and there may be the last remaining humans flying around in space looking for a place to live and fighting these aliens that have been attacking them. So, but they also have a new season coming in Japan in November, and so expect to see that coming on Netflix. So, and then on Crunchyroll, they've got the new Sword Art Online series. It's like the second series now. based on, I think I mentioned it before, the Gun Art Online. So it's Kirito and some other characters that are in a different game now, using guns as weapons instead of swords. So
that's more fun.
Yeah. So that's streaming, on Crunchyroll because it's airing in Japan right now. Also, the second season of Attack on Titan is airing, and then there's a whole slew of new fall anime shows on Crunchyroll, which if you want to pay the premium price, then you can get it like streaming live as it airs in Japan, or wait a week and then watch it. Or wait a few weeks and you build up several episodes, then you can watch a bunch and catch up. In Harry Potter news, we have the Quidditch Regional Tournament coming up in November, 15th and 16th in Rochester, New York. Right now we've got at least, 23 teams that are USQ official teams, and we've got 12 slots for the World Cup that we have to fill. So the top 12 teams in the tournament will be slotted for competition in the World Cup. But then we'll see who the regional championship will be too. And then coming up in December 20th in Boston and December 21st in New York City is the Yule Ball. The Yule Ball is hosted by Harry and the Potters. It's in Boston. It's usually at the Middle East downstairs in Cambridge, which is right on Mass Avenue. So look for that, or not Mass Avenue, maybe it's the Cambridge Main Street, something like that.
I always get lost in Boston.
It's in Massachusetts.
It's in Massachusetts.
It's up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's above us. Look at the map.
Yeah. But, Yule Ball is a lot of fun. They got a lot of bands playing. I'm going to miss it this year, but everybody else can have fun. And I went last year.
It won't be the same without you, James.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then the internet exploded a few days ago. J.K. Rowling tweeted...
Wait a minute, nobody told me the internet exploded.
Well, only among Harry Potter fans.
Oh, all right.
They say we're still here.
I was getting worried there for a second.
Yeah. The Twitterverse, she posted this anagram. It was, "Cry foe, run amok, fa awry. My wand won't tolerate this nonsense." Which, after a couple days of trying to figure out what that anagram meant, it turns out to be about the new movie that she's working on, the Newt Scamander story, The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So it turns out she's writing the script for that, but she's also working on a little bit of a pre-synopsis part of the story. And this happens to be the first line from the story, which could be the first line for the novelization of this movie. Newt only meant to stay in New York for a few hours. Right? That sounds like a great first line.
Okay.
Right? And then she also revealed the second line, "Circumstances ensured that he remained ... And she kind of put her lips. And then she said, "For the length of a movie, anyway." So, jokingly.
Well, we're going to do a roundtable this month because we haven't done a roundtable in a while, and we're going to talk about the new television season for 2014-2015. So let's get some reviews underway. What do you guys think about the new series Gotham?
I like it.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very dark.
Yep. As we tape, we're about 4 episodes in. Okay.
And I mean extremely dark. This is not a show for kids to watch.
Yeah, Gotham is a hole of a place. Yeah. It's a really bad place.
It's really bad, but Jada Pinkett Smith is doing a great job.
As Fish Mooney.
Yep.
She's awesome in that.
She really is doing a great job. And they're doing a good job of integrating some of the regular Batman villains and showing their origins.
All right.
Or at least where
they might be
coming from originally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cobblepot's really psycho.
Yep. Cat is a decent
kid. She's like a 13, 15-year-old girl.
Yep.
Right, Catwoman.
Yeah. Yep. Even Bruce Wayne is, he's having problems dealing and, hurting himself or trying to test his limits. And
right. Okay, so Gotham is good. What about The Flash?
Love it.
The Flash is awesome.
Zoom. Yeah.
It's only been one episode so far,
that
but
we've
it's
seen.
Great.
Yeah. But we
I
got
love the consequences of super speed and impacts.
Yes, that's good. The physics is there, which is good. I like the idea of the little red flashing in his eyes before he starts to speed up. Did you catch that too?
Yes.
There's all sorts of Easter eggs in this one too, which is kind of neat.
Star Labs, working with Star Labs.
Star Labs is good.
The broken cage.
We're going to see Captain Cold in this one. We might see the origins of Firestorm, another DC hero,
Yeah, that would be
as
good.
well.
Yeah,
Yep.
Victor Garber,
Yep.
who was in Titanic
Yep.
and I believe
Alias. And all. And he was also in the movie version of Godspell. Shows how old I am. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Plus, John Wesley Shipp plays Barry Allen's father.
Yes,
I mean,
which
he
is
was
nice.
in the Flash series back in the 90s. So, yeah,
Yeah.
there's Easter eggs and homages galore.
Yeah.
And it's really well done.
And the alternate Flash, the reverse Flash, is going to be in it as well, which is cool. All right, Arrow, third season of Arrow started, which is an awesome show. I like it. They're going to do a lot of, there might be a new Black Canary in this one. They're kind of priming one of the characters to take over the role.
It's Dinah Lance.
Yeah.
So she is Black Canary in the comics.
Right.
So
It's sitting on my DVR because I'm really mad at Netflix because
Uh-oh.
season 2 was supposed to be put on Netflix like 2 weeks ago, and I was like halfway through season 2. And we were watching the reruns during the summer, but they took out the Barry Allen stuff because they ended up showing it just before the Flash premiere. So they decided to add season 2 the day that season 3 premiered. So I did get to see the Barry Allen tie-ins. That was pretty cool.
all right.
So now I gotta like zoom through season 2 so I can start on season 3.
And they
But
just,
Arrow's awesome.
as we tape, they just released season 2 on DVD.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I never really watched season 1. I did watch a bunch of the season 2. I don't really care so much for the flashbacks of where he was before.
Like 5 years ago,
yeah,
that type of stuff.
But you know, I guess they are trying to tie that stuff into what's happening. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do it. All right, move on to, on Fox, Sleepy Hollow, which is season 2 of Sleepy Hollow. Have you had a chance? No, you haven't
No,
chance to see that
I'm
yet.
not. No,
You're not
I
into
didn't really
Sleepy
get
Hollow,
into to season 1. So
Yeah, I like Sleepy Hollow. It's
Sleepy
pretty-
Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow is a good series.
Yeah, this year they're going to be doing something with these coins, and when you pick up one of these coins, all this negative energy or demonic energy makes you do really bad things.
Like red kryptonite.
Like red kryptonite.
Strange coins.
Well, it's strange coins, but it's the reason why Benedict Arnold turned into a traitor.
Really?
Yeah, that's the explanation that they give. It's really neat the way they twist it.
I like that.
Yep. And then Forever is another show on ABC. It's about a medical examiner who is an immortal, and it's kind of like, my wife has watched it, and she says, if you like Castle, it's pretty much the same thing except with a guy who's immortal. That's her explanation of it.
Right,
To
and
me,
it's one of my favorite new shows.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like Ian Griffith
Yep.
for a long time for all of his work that he's done as Horatio Hornblower and
This is
in
fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic. But he's only like 250 years old. So
Only.
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 only. Right, but this mysterious other person may be older than him.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, part Highlander, part Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
You know, he's very observant. So.
What do you think about the idea that every time he dies, he reappears again in water? That's different.
Yeah, but it
kinda
also
like a birth.
Yeah.
he's very wary of not being caught like on camera. And this
Right.
one episode I just watched, you know, he was like trying not to get killed and it'd be on camera where he would all of a sudden disappear and wind up in the river. But let's see. So yeah.
Yeah, good
It's a
stuff.
good show.
Okay, anything else that we want to bring up as far as TV shows, upcoming stuff?
Upcoming stuff.
Well, Marvel Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is
Agent of
great.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
They
Continues,
had
yeah.
a little preview of Agent Carter in the first season
Yes, they
episode,
did.
right?
Very
The first
nice.
season. And she's going to be having her own show. I don't know when that's going to be coming, but
I think that's a filler show on sometime in January.
Yeah, like a
Okay.
mid-season.
Yeah, it's a mid-season
deal.
replacement. Yep.
yeah. And, you know, so far there's lots of great things happening. Fitz, dealing with Fitz.
Right.
And what Simmons is doing.
Mhm.
They had Lucy Lawless on it, but
She didn't last very long.
No, but,
there's
yeah.
a rumor that Tony Stark, Iron Man, might make an appearance on the show,
yeah.
which is kind of neat too. That's good. Person of Interest on CBS. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I was a big follower, but it conflicts with other shows. And then we've got The Originals, which came back for season 2 on the CW. We also have The 100, which premiered
Yeah.
at the end of October. Season 2 for that one as well, which looks pretty
Rain
interesting.
is coming back.
Rain is
too.
coming back.
And
The Vampire
Constantine.
Diaries has come back as well.
Constantine's coming out in a couple of weeks
Constantine.
as we tape. I'm
Yep,
looking
Constantine.
forward to
And once that comes out, we'll give you a review about that. Constantine in the same night as Grimm. So Grimm will be coming back
Yeah.
as well.
The other shows like Castle started off really
Yep.
good. Bones is back on also, which
Right.
is really good. And one of the other shows, that even though it's not sci-fi and fantasy, it is conflicting with our favorite shows that we were talking about, The Voice.
Yes.
And The Voice is pretty good too, if you like music and singing. You know, there are people out there who like it. And
Right.
so,
Oh, Barbara loves it.
Yeah, I don't watch The Voice because it conflicts with The Big Bang Theory.
Leslie likes The Voice.
Which is
and Bones. She's
yeah.
a big Bones person.
Which is good.
oh, and Karen Gillan's on the new sitcom called Selfie.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny. It's a kind of a redo of the Pygmalion story, the
Yep.
My Fair Lady.
And John Cho? Is that
John
his name?
Cho is,
Yep, from
is
Star
Hig-
Trek. Is on
Yep,
there.
he's Henry Higgins, and
I don't think it'll last too long.
she's
but
Eliza Dooley.
You never know.
Yeah.
It might.
Well, if you don't think it's going to last so long, it
It's
might
gonna
very
get
well last
it's gonna
for a
get
while.
7 seasons. Okay, all right. Let's move on to toys, props, and other stuff. Now, see, I thought you were going to do a Thanksgiving one because it's turkey. So let's try again. Toys, props, and other.
Gobble, gobble stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, on your one side, you have the Xbox 360 version of Alien
On your
Isolation.
one side?
Well, on your left, on your right, whatever. On this side, you have Alien
your-
Isolation for the Xbox One. It's also available for the PlayStation 4. This is the Nostromo edition, which was limited, so where you can actually play with a couple of people from the Nostromo.
Nice.
Set 15 years in the future with Ripley's daughter. Really, really cool. In the middle is The Flash, the complete series back from 1990, starring John Wesley Shipp. A very underrated television series.
Definitely
which did
worth
not
having.
Get its due. Definitely worth having. I'm
Yep.
hoping with The Flash being, rebooted and on the CW now that it's popular enough that this gets a re-release on Blu-ray.
My one problem with that series was they turned the trickster into a murderer.
Yes.
All right.
And he was not a murderer.
And then on the other side is Godzilla.
Godzilla.
The 2014 remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. Excellent film. Definitely worth checking out.
Cool. We have, what's this? Is that The Hobbit on the left?
Yep, it's the DVD. I picked it up at Stop and Shop. The first Hobbit that was produced by Rankin and Bass. The
Oh, all right.
Animated Hobbit.
Yeah, in the middle is a whole bunch of stuff from something called Loot Crate, L-O-O-T, and it's like a monthly subscription service where you can pay a fee and get all sorts of really cool sci-fi and fantasy stuff. And the theme for this month was Star Trek Firefly and Star Wars, so I got an exclusive Star Trek Tribble, and you've got that little Mal action figure, and there's an alien from Aliens, and it came with watermelon flavored Pop Rocks, and the whole box is a little diorama of the inside of the Serenity ship with a little R2 unit going across. So it's pretty cool. It's like less than $20 if you want to go online and subscribe to that thing. You can get 1, 3, or 6 month subscriptions and get really cool tchotchkes. And who brought in the book from Carl Sagan? Is that,
That
like
was
a
Brian brought that in.
Brian? That must be an autobiography about Carl Sagan. It takes you billions and billions of minutes to read it.
It looks like it's written by someone named Davidson. Is that Ray Davidson?
Key Davidson.
Key Davidson.
Thank you. The
Star Wars Vault.
Owe me a Coke.
This is a great collection of all sorts of Star Wars memorabilia that's been collected and put into a book with all sorts of things: press passes, movie premiere items, all sorts of collectors' tchotchkes that were put out at the beginning. Just it's a nice tribute of Star Wars memorabilia over the years.
And what's next? All right, last but not least, this is money, bank money from Firefly. Remember that great train robbery or whatever that they had that particular episode? Well, this is what they were looking for. This is a part of the Loot Crate stuff. Oh, great. Oh, cool.
One of the minions,
One of the minions.
from Despicable Me, 1 and 2.
And
it's the front paw.
Is the front paw?
It's
Oh,
the
there you
front
go.
paw.
Unicorn Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them. Unicorns, I love them.
You never know what we're going to bring in.
That's right.
Sci-Fi Journal.
Thank God we're not bronies. That's all I got to say.
No, these were brought in by Kat. Thank you, Kat. We've been having a lot of fun with these.
All right. If you want to get in touch with us, we have a website. It's www.risfc.org. We have a Facebook page. You can find the show on YouTube. And we have Twitter feeds for Rhode Island Science Fiction Club and Sci-Fi Journal. We also have monthly meetings if you live in the Rhode Island area. Please check out our website and join us for a meeting. We do lots of really cool stuff. Any last-minute shout-outs or announcements that we need to make, gentlemen?
Get ready for Rhode Island Comic Con.
That's right. Next month we will be showing highlights and lowlights from Rhode Island Comic Con 3, which is going to take place in Providence. We have a table there, and we'll be interviewing all sorts of
Hopefully
really cool
there won't
people.
be any lowlights. Hopefully it'll all just be highlights.
Yes, that's true. It'll be nice. I got my marker just in case. Highlights. Anyway. Anything else? Nope, that's it. Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you very much for watching Sci-Fi Journal, and we will see you in December.